Today's date, November 10th, 2022. Keep that in mind. November 10th, 1942. Keep that in mind. That was Hanna's birthday. 1942. She is 80 years old, which is no surprise to anybody in the room today or to our remote people. But you know, the interesting thing is, like talking about past events, some incredible things have happened in Hanna's life over the years and been in and around all of us, and sometimes we just forget. Now I'm going to talk about people. I'm going to talk about things. I'm going to talk about events. Now, for some of these, it won't have any meaning at all, but I know Hanna understands this. And when we talk about people, we talk about FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Now, he died when Hanna was young, but he was, and his legacy was ingrained in her life and those around her for years to come. Mahatma Gandhi, an individual that was a moving figure on the international stage and formed a lot of things. Jack Kennedy, assassinated. Joseph Stalin, names out of the past. Everybody understands Adolf Hitler, but these were names that came all along. Barack Obama, a change for the future. And those were people that were just part of this legacy of 80 years. Let's talk about events. I start with the Second World War, but there was something that was on the edge before that, and I know that Hanna remembers this, and that was the Depression. She doesn't remember the Depression, but the stories that came out of the Depression were still very real when you were young. Everybody told you about that. Now, in today's world, the Depression is just a story. World War II. The Korean War. I remember the Korean War. I know Hanna does. Vietnam. Middle Eastern conflicts. 9/11. The polio scourge of the 50s. Polio is a forgotten thing now, but in the 50s, polio was a big deal. And of course, we had 9/11, COVID, and so on and so forth. How about the things that have come along since then? The microwave. My God, could we get along without the microwave anymore?
No.
These are superficial things. I understand it, but they change the general dynamic of things. Color TV. Does anybody have a black and white TV in their home? Raise your hand. I don't think we even get black and white signals, do we?
Did we ever?
The computer, the internet, and this crazy thing we call the cell phone. My God. Now, if you think about this from Hanna's perspective, these are all things that chugged along. She knows about them, they're very dear. Some of them are a little bit more personal than others, but they're real. And for that, we commemorate Hanna's birthday. But Hanna is a special person. She is an extraordinary person. She would not say so, but you know, she came from rather humble beginnings. She came here from Germany after the Second World War. I'm guessing you had about next to nothing. And you didn't speak English, I know that, because your English isn't too good now anyway. But from there, she raised a family. She worked 2 and 3 jobs. She's probably the last one in the room that milked cows. Did you milk cows? Okay, well, maybe you would. But I bet you maybe Hanna milked more cows. I don't know. The closest I ever got to a cow was a gallon of milk. I know that. And those are real kinds of things. She raised a family, settled in southeast Minnesota, in Chatfield, and still lives on a farm. But what makes Hanna extraordinary, besides all those other things which are not to be minimized, is this kind of journey. We call it Hanna's Dream Ride. Who in the world would get on a solar-powered bicycle at, let's say, over 40 or 50 years of age and go out on a journey around the U.S., driving around the back roads of America, stopping places that she probably shouldn't stop, and talking to people she probably shouldn't talk to, and enjoying it and embracing all that could be? That is an extraordinary person. Who's a person that opens up her yard for camping as these people trounce through the area? And they're not local campers, they're people, they're strangers. But you're not a stranger at Hanna's place. You are welcome. And last but not least, who is a person who frequently admits that she's scared to death of talking in front of people and was willing to confront that and chug along? That's Hanna. Are there bigger people? Yes, they're taller. Can't hardly be much shorter. Are there heavier people? Yeah. Are there people who will do great things? Probably. But is there anything greater than a person who has done these things? Hanna, happy birthday. I was going to lead us in a birthday rendition, but we already exposed the limitations of their song. Thank you.